What's up, everyone, and welcome to today's video. We have new summons. It is the new week upon us, Monday, and we've got summons for you. Let's go ahead and review them. Now, the first summon that we have is Westeros Conqueror, which will be Red Daenerys and Grey Worm. Now, we have to analyze the green summon tokens a different way now, because we have Crown's Challenge, we have dragons, we have events, we have raids, and now we have Alliance War coming out. So Alliance War will require four teams, and you cannot use the same character in more than one team. So teams are going to be very important. This is a very solid summon for two reasons. You have one of the best power-up gems in the game made, the best team-up in my opinion. This gem, whenever you make a vertical with Grey Worm and Daenerys, and they have to be alive, when you activate it, not only will it break gems, but it'll afflict two random enemies with fire. And why is this relevant? Because if you use a character like Rhaenyra, who on an enemy death with fire creates power-ups, she is going to create these. It's RNG, it's all random, but it's going to happen. So if you want to build a fire team, Grey Worm and Red Daenerys are great for the fire team. This is great for Crown's Challenge. You could pair someone like Mender with them and create more fire on top of that just by creating the vertical power-ups. Grey Worm is a solid character. He does have the HP guard going in his favor, and he does taunt. And then when he's hit by a skill, he applies fire to his attacker. But when his HP guard is used, he's going to afflict a random enemy with one fire. And he has the HP guard at 3 levels. So he can afflict 3 fire with just that part of his equation. Then we have Red Daenerys, who was changed. She deals damage and bonus damage based on each fire an opponent has. So you can get max 10 stacks for that. And then if she starts, if she's the leader, all enemies begin combat with 1 fire, and Targaryens get an indefinite 15% fire resistance buff. So she's a solid character, and many people have her. If you want more stars, it's definitely a good summon. We'll go on to the next summon. I did spend a lot of time on that summon. This is Recruiters of the Night Watch. Now, as I'm joking with Jade of Night Watch, this is the Meat Shield team. This is a team in which you're creating shields and taking lots of damage. Now, the Night Watch characters have an interesting mechanic, as Yoren does have an indefinite, a permanent physical resistance buff. And what happens with that is, if we go to Benjen, whenever an ally is buffed, he grants his allies an attack shield. And allies have a 50% chance to remove a debuff. Now, the Night Watch is great at cleansing. They are an amazing cleansing team. The problem lies in they lack a punch. They lack a certain punch. If you go to the Night Watch faction, and I was tempted to go for the Night Watch team, because if you look at my roster, I have Sam, Alistair, and Craster at 7 stars, and I was going to make a special team with them. But if we look at the Night Watch faction, you only have 2 damage dealers on the team. You have Craster, who will do an HP pool move. Now that is your HP plus whatever you have shields. So that could do a lot. However, the problem is he is red. And there are a lot of blue characters in the game. Very strong blue characters in the game. So that's going to do 50% damage. Now Benjen does have a fast speed move that does damage. And if he has a shield, he does shield bonus damage, which sounds good. However, you're going to lose those shields. He only can get a 5% attack shield per turn with Yorn. However, it's going to be taken off. So I feel like this team, if you do have enough stars and levels, you can do well and stomp over people. They are very good against the Starks. They are very good against the Fire team because they are constantly going to cleanse. They are horrible against the Greens. They are horrible against the Baratheons, the Boltons. Just, they're good at cleansing debuffs is what I'm trying to say. They are the best debuff cleansers in the game. Alistair has an ability where when an ally shield is broken, they're going to gain 10% defense for 2 turns. And if the member wasn't a Night Watch member, they have 1 debuff removed. So, if you are a whale and you are looking for team number 4, this might be a good summon for you. The only thing I have to say is 3 of the 5 characters are in the summons where with purple tokens, where when I summoned for Alistair and Sam, there were only 2 characters in the pool. Now there are 4 characters in the pool. So that is going to make it very hard to get yourself a lot of stars. Now, I am still debating on the team because it might be really fun, but it is not a meta team by all chances. I do have the Starks for Crowns Challenge, so I don't need them for Crowns Challenge. They're going to do horrible against dragons. So Alliance War is pretty much the only summon I could recommend them for. So if you are a whale, let's take a look at today's offers. Okay, today's offers is like the usual. 50 cents a token, and you could buy 2 of them, so you get 120 120 summons. It does take a lot of summons to get them to high stars. So this is a team where they're not going to make an impact. There are a lot of better teams out there, so I'm not going to recommend them. Then we have the dynamic duo, which is Tyrion and Bronn. And Tyrion used to be amazing and a powerhouse. He is not as good as before, and the Lannister team is not very good. So for this reason, this is a very bad summon. I would stay away from it at all costs. You do have good Lannisters for the tower that you can use, like Purple Hound and Blue Joffrey, which will take on 2 towers and be Lannister and Baratheons. However, this is not a good summon. They're both purple characters, so you're not having diversity in your colors. And then finally, we have the Triarchy summon, which has Kragas Drahar. And I know Senior Murte, Dr. Death, I know you love this character. And he does have dodge chance, which is interesting. And he works with the Greyjoys. And I know you're saying that this is the character that can help you beat Green's teams, as you can help the dodge for your team to avoid the attacks. And then as the match goes on, the Greens do die. So, because they're not strong enough when the birthright goes away. But, in my opinion, it just costs way too much to get this character and some other ones up. And I don't know. I just don't like this summon. It's only 1 character, so you can get him. But overall, this is not really a good week of summons. So this might be a horde for next week type situation. The best summon of the bunch is the Westeros Conqueror. If you do need help in the pit, that will help you. Also a good Alliance War team if you want to build fire. But overall, this is not a good week for summons. This is not a good week. We're going to still have the daily summons for the anniversary, so keep those in mind. But for the weekly summons, not a good week. I would hold on to your tokens if I were you, unless you really want to go for the Daenerys and Grey Worm combination. There is going to be a purple summon coming out that has Grey Worm in there. So if you do have enough purple summon tokens, you can get yourself a nice 45 shards of Grey Worm there. And that will be out, I believe, this Thursday. So you can technically get your 45 shards of him there. And then you could summon, the summon will still be there. So you can use the green summon tokens on Grey Worm if you want and get more of a stronger Grey Worm. Because everyone has Daenerys. She's one of the starting characters that everyone gets in the welcome summon. She's a good character. And that is the week. So comment below and let me know if you are going to be summoning. Otherwise, it's a very underwhelming week. Be smart with your resources. I will talk to you all next time. Take care.